you're not resistant. You're actually afraid of flow, afraid of ease, distrusting of things being effortless and things coming to you easily and naturally. This message hit me so hard today when I was on my walk this morning. In fact, I've actually tried to record this video several times and I couldn't even put it into words until I just sat down and was like, okay, here, this is what I need to say. Today I had this experience. I was out at the beach in the morning doing my little morning walk and having a beautiful conversation with God while I'm going through just being vulnerable and raw, which is what I do when I go to the ocean. And I'm pouring myself out, and then I look up. Mind you, I thought it was 5 minutes. I thought it had been 5 minutes. I look up and I turn around. I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I get this far? I am so far. That's crazy. Okay. So it felt weird. It felt like 5 minutes. I felt like I'd gone more than half a mile in 5 minutes, which is just not my pace. And, after walking a little bit further, I was like, okay, I guess I'll head back. And when I head back, the wind was thick. It was cold. It was powerful. It was pushing me back. It was a lot of wind. And it kind of dawned on me. I was like, this is what resistance freaking feels like, where you can see your destination, you know where you're going to go, and you're just like, I'm just going to do it. And no matter what's kind of thrown in your way and in your path, you just kind of keep going, even if it's not easy, even if it's everything's kind of telling you to turn around, you should go with the flow, blah, 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 right? Now, of course, in the specific instance, it was more about what the representation of what resistance felt like versus flow. Because when I was in flow and I was conversing with God and I was going with the wind, I was so present in the moment. I ended up so much further along than I ever could have imagined, right? It was time didn't even exist in that moment. And I look up and I had gone so far. And I noticed that is so true in so many aspects of my life. So many aspects of my life. The way I meet friends, the way I've gotten jobs, the way that I have, even in my business, it's been, oh my gosh, 3.5 years. I'm just whoa. In fact, I might even be coming up on 4, honestly, in August. It's just so crazy to think that this is where I am. But there have been moments in between where I was trying to force friendships or trying to force my business to work out in a certain way. And the resistance felt like that freaking wind. It was fierce. It was pushing me. It was slowing me down. It took me probably, it felt like in my head, I was 20 minutes just to get back to my car, which is insane. It was half a mile. It should have taken 20 minutes, maybe 15. I don't know. But it just took so long. And so then I started thinking a little bit deeper, right? I was like, well, then why do I have such such a response when things are easy, when I'm just sitting and relaxing and things are coming to me? What is that feeling? And I was like, oh, it's distrust. It's fear. It's maybe things are just too good to be true, and so therefore the bottom's going to fall out. There are a lot of opportunities growing up as a child when, when I'm being programmed as a human being, unbeknownst to my family. It's not like they did this on purpose, right? We have to give our parents credit, just like you would hope your child would give you credit as well, right? My parents are absolutely 1,000% human, and they did the best that they could. And so part of their training of me from their own history was things don't come easy. If you work hard to enjoy life, right? You work really hard in the first half of your life and then you enjoy it in the later half of your life. I'm not interested in that now. That's for sure. That's a belief that's outdated. I don't want no part of, right? But this idea of things being easy and effortless and flowing to you and serendipitous and all of those different things aligned is such a foreign concept to our nervous system. nervous systems that have been working with these outdated beliefs and programs for such a long time that it feels, I mean, it's very normal. It's normal for the human condition. So when things come to you easily, you'll question it, and you might even seek out the resistance. So in my case, not in the case of me walking, but in the case of like certain paths in my life, whenever I see a path that feels easy, I may try to go down that path, but because it feels too easy, I will seek out the resistance. Perfect example. In my business, I've told myself multiple times after deep meditation, just sit down. Like, you've already created everything you need to create. You don't need to do anything else. It's totally cool. Just sit there. And I'll sit there, I kid you not, at most maybe 2 hours. And then I'm like, I got to create something new. I got to create something new. They need to know that I've got all these programs. They need to know that like I'm doing this work. They need to know that I'm out here helping them. I mean, just saying that, the energy is like thick and stressful and like, and I remember doing the same thing when I was dating. We're doing the same thing when I was dating. Well, if I'm not on every single app, if I'm not checking it every 2 minutes, if I don't check it every 2 minutes, then I'm going to miss a message. If I don't check my phone, like every 2 seconds, like what if they contact me and I miss it? That energy like ripples. That energy you can feel from me through this device that you're watching me on, and people can feel from you through their both in person and through their devices as well. And it's like we seek out the path of resistance because it just can't be that easy, right? It just can't be that easy, right? And this is where, to me, faith comes into play. Because when you are aligned with what is meant for you, it is that easy. When you are aligned with what your heart and your soul have been calling into being this whole time, it is that easy. You don't have to do much more than just be yourself, be who you are, be who you've been created to be. Problem is that we're so used to people telling us who we're supposed to be. We're so used to people trying to convince us like to do or not do certain things. We're so used to people throwing the resistance on our path that feels more normal than a life of flow, a life of ease. Of course, this is not taking out challenges. Of course, there'll still be challenges. Every time you up level, even if you're in complete flow, if you reach a new marker, new milestone, so from being single and then you finally start dating someone you really care about, your nervous system's gonna feel that. It's not used to that next level, or maybe it's been a while, right? So of course you're going to meet these challenges, but it's like in the moment of those challenges, this is the opportunity that we get to choose non-resistance. Okay, I feel my nervous system is acting a little crazy. So I'm just going to breathe and I'm just going to be. I'm not going to do anything different. I'm just going to breathe and be. And I know that whatever is meant to be mine will not pass me up. I pray that with all my heart. I believe that with all my soul. And then you'd be surprised how easy it is to pass that test, that nervous system test, and go on to this next evolution of who you are. Problem is that most of the time, again, we want to add the resistance in. We want that resistance to be there because if it's not challenging enough, then maybe it's not worth our time, right? That's kind of like a misnomer. If we didn't work hard to get it, then maybe we're not going to enjoy it that much. Again, another misnomer. I enjoy plenty of things I didn't have to work hard for. Plenty of things I didn't have to work hard for. I'm like scrolling through my Rolodex right now. But whether or not my nervous system could actually support the thing was up to me. So again, this could be that you're not actually in non-resistance fully. It's that you're actually nervous, you're scared, you're distrustful of what it actually means to be in flow. And so practice with like little things to be in flow with. So go like a whole day if you can, just flowing with the day. You know, not feeling like you have to force or control anything, not making any calls that don't feel aligned. Just go through the day, see what shows up, and respond to life as it shows up for you. See how that feels. The more often you can do that, the more you can start to train your nervous system to support these new things that the universe, God, source, creator wants to pour into you. Because we're meant to be abundant beings. We're meant to be loved. We are meant to feel joy and happiness. All the other stuff is just an indicator that we're off, that we're not in alignment, that we're not allowing, that we are in resistance. Okay, I hope this message reaches you. You guys, I love you so much. If you are interested in working with me one-on-one to dive more deeply into this and let me drop some beautiful nuggets, I invite you to schedule a free 25-minute call with me. Other than that, check out the links in my bio. If you're on Instagram, if you're inside my Facebook community, keep showing up. You know, keep sharing your stories. You are not meant to do this by yourself. You're not meant to do this by yourself.